Let me ask you a question. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you reacted to something and you were like, who's that? Maybe you snapped at somebody that you love, or somebody asked you a question and you were very short, patient with them. And you're like, who is this person? I don't talk like this. And then you realize that for a little while now, something's been feeling a little off. You don't even recognize yourself anymore. And for a lot of women in ministry, this can be a really hard season to be in because you are the person who's always encouraging everybody. You are the steady Eddie. You are the person that everybody goes to when they need encouragement and advice. And then in the quiet of the moment, you sit back and realize that the way that you've been reacting to things surprises you. That's a scary feeling. Maybe you feel a little bit more irritated than you usually do. And the little things turn into big, humongous things. And then that tone of voice you have, it's really been harsh lately. And you do something or say something, and then you feel guilty. But not just guilty, spiritually guilty. And you start saying to yourself, Lord, what is wrong with me? Why am I acting like this? I went to my doctor's office and said something I thought I would never, ever say. I said to him, Dr. Tim, please save my husband because I am not myself. I was moody. I was snapping at him. The things that were coming out my mouth were not aligned with who I was. I felt completely out of character. So, what scared me most? I didn't recognize myself. So, I did what most Christians do. I prayed about it. I fasted. I rebuked things in the name of Jesus. And maybe you're going through something like that too. Maybe right now your patience is really, really short. Maybe you don't even have tolerance for things that you used to have tolerance for. And one of the scariest part about going through this season is that you begin to realize I don't recognize myself anymore. Who is this person? I don't feel like me right now. Eventually, I realized that everything we go through is not spiritual warfare. Sometimes it's just things that are happening in the natural. So I got a phone call from Dr. Tim, and he's like, Pat, you're not going crazy. What you are going through is menopause. I was like, menopause? He was like, yes, menopause. It's a natural season that women go through in their lives. So I felt two emotions right then. I felt relief because I knew what was going on. And I felt fear because a lot of times we women, we know about menopause. We talk a little bit, but not that much about it. But here I was experiencing menopause, and I really didn't know that much about it. When I discovered I was in menopause, things shifted. Because now that I knew what was going on, I could address it. I believe that knowledge is power. So, one of the things I had to do was I had to stop putting myself down. I had to stop condemning myself. I had to stop fighting against what was going on and find healthy ways to support myself going through this season. There are a lot of issues that you go through when it comes to menopause, but one of the biggest is hormonal changes. That's why you go through the mood swings and all the other things that happen during menopause, which we're going to be talking about. So, yeah, it's the hormones that does that. So, one of the most common ways of treating menopause is for women to get estrogen shots because with your hormonal changes, it does something to your estrogen. So I looked into that, but I didn't choose that route. And I didn't choose that route because one, I have an autoimmune disease. So I'm very careful about what kind of shots I take. And second was there's side effects. I mean, there's side effects to everything, but there were side effects, and I didn't want them to have any issues with my autoimmune disease. So one of the things I did was I started looking into natural resources, natural ways that I could address my issues with menopause. And one of the things that I found that kept coming up over and over and over again was something called primrose. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to think about this. If you are going through a season of menopause right now, you may be saying to yourself, there are times I don't even recognize who I am, and that's okay. Because at the end of the day, who you are really on the inside, that's not changing. Your calling is not changing. Your identity is not changing. But what we have to realize is that in this moment, we have to learn how to support our body. We have to listen to our body. What do we need right now? And that's how we're going to be able to support our body during this time in a healthy manner. So again, know that if you're going through this season of menopause, it's going to be different, but it simply could be an invitation to you to learn how to care for yourself in a new way. If you enjoyed this content and it resonated with you, I invite you to subscribe. Here at Breakthrough Flags Ministries, we are concerned about you, body, mind, and spirit. God created you as a whole person, not just as a minister. So he's not just interested in how you serve. He wants to make sure that you're healthy emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And those are the things we'll talk about here at Breakthrough Flags Ministry. So, again, subscribe. Send this out to some woman that you know, because, again, we need to start having these conversations, because when you're going through something like this, it affects everybody around you. And we're going to be talking about that, because this is part 1 of a 4-part series. And we're going to be talking about how going through menopause affects other aspects of your life. Next video, I'm going to be talking about something I know we don't talk about, and that's night sweats, y'all. Yep, we're going to be talking about night sweats. Those 2 a.m. wake-up calls that, what can I say? That disrupts your whole night and day sometimes. Make sure you look out for that video. Subscribe, and I'll see you back here at Break the Flags Ministries.